What's up, moviegoers? It's Luke Rollins again, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be doing the Extraction movie review, so let's get started. A black market mercenary who has nothing to lose is hired to rescue the kidnapped son of an imprisoned international crime lord. But in the murky underworld of weapons dealers and drug traffickers, an already deadly mission approaches the impossible. Okay guys, so before we get started, the director of this movie is Sam Hargrave. He directed movies like Extraction. This is the first movie he has ever directed. Now, the producers of this movie are the producers of Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, Joe and Anthony Russo, and I think Chris Hemsworth had something to do with this movie. I think he helped a little bit with this movie. What I love about this movie is ecstatic, full of action. Chris Hemsworth is a badass in this movie. This movie kind of has like a John Wick vibe with the action sequences. You know how, like in John Wick, there'd be some scenes where it's, quiet, but all you hear is the fighting. It's got some of those scenes. There's a little bit of, emotion in this film. Chris Hemsworth character, his name is Tyler in this film, and he is going through, a depressing time. He lives alone. His wife and his son died in the past, so he's still going through that. And this movie is basically about this kid who is kidnapped. Hold on. This movie basically takes place in India, and this kid is kidnapped by some bad guys, or some villains, I should say. And Chris Hemsworth's character, Tyler, works for these people who, work with these type of missions, such as, rescuing kids and, they're on the good side. But like I said, this movie is such a fun and ecstatic movie to watch. I mean, it's got a lot of John Wick vibes, and I just love that. It reminds you of John Wick, one of the best movies out there right now. One of the things I like about this movie, though, is the plot is nice, simple. This movie is simple. It's easy to follow. It's not confusing. It doesn't lose your interest. It keeps up that momentum with Chris Hemsworth character and the boy that is being kidnapped, who will soon be rescued by Chris Hemsworth character. What I love about this movie is Chris Hemsworth character, starring as Tyler, kind of has this connection with this boy who is also, is having like a depressing stage in his life. His father's in jail. His father has killed, multiple people. He's not proud of his father. He's basically, depressed, kind of like Chris Hemsworth character, Tyler, which I like about this movie is they both have something in common. They both have lost, a family, or, they both have had a tragic past. And what I love about this movie is it brings them together. They work together in this movie to, get out of this, I guess, stage. But yeah, that's what I love about this movie. Now, in the beginning of this movie, we see Chris Hemsworth's character. We get to see what kind of life he's living in. He's basically a depressed man who is still trying to get over, what happened in the past with his wife and his kid. This movie takes place in Australia in the beginning, just for like a couple minutes in the movie. But then as this movie starts to progress, this movie starts to take place in India, which is beautifully shot, with the cinematography in India, with all the stuff happening, the action, the cars blowing up, and everything. It was just amazing. Now, this movie does have a great cast, but most of the cast members in this movie are like either Indian Indian actresses or Indian actors, so I may not be able to pronounce the names of the actors or actresses because it's kind of hard. But we got Chris Hemsworth. I'll put the picture of the cast members. We got Randy Puda, and we got David Harper. You may know him in his upcoming film Black Widow, coming out in November. And yeah. But the cast in this movie they did a wonderful job in this movie, and I really do think they brought light and action into this film, and that's what I love about this movie. One of the traits that's in this movie that I like is it'll make you feel tense, and then sometimes it'll make you feel like excited, and then like your emotions go up and down as this movie starts to progress towards the end of the movie, and that's what I love about this movie. Now let's talk about David Harper's character. He worked with Chris Hemsworth's character Tyler in the movie probably like a long time ago in the past. Now he only has a short period of time in this movie. He probably has about like 5 minutes in this movie. He's not really in this movie as long, but his acting is really good, and I do feel like they should have put him in the movie more longer than they did in this movie. Yeah. Now let's talk more about the cinematography in this movie. The cinematography in this movie is amazing. It's everything in this movie basically takes place in India, and most of the cinematography in this movie just is outstanding. It's kind of like it kind of has a similar it's kind of similar to John Wick, and if you've seen John Wick, which I think you guys should, it's fun. It's just amazing. The cinematography is just amazing in this film. There's no words to explain how good the cinematography in this movie is. Now, before you see this movie, if you guys have seen the movie The Grey, if you guys have seen the ending, of the movie The Grey, that movie basically has a similar concept to this movie, the ending, which I know had some fans upset. If you guys have seen The Grey, the ending, which had some fans upset not knowing, the actual ending because the movie has cut short. This movie Extraction has the exact same similarity ending to The Grey, where at the end when he was fighting the wolf, we didn't know what happened because it was just him and he was going to fight that wolf. We didn't know what was going to happen, after. We didn't know if he was going to be able to beat the wolf or if the wolf was going to kill him. They just cut the movie off short. That's going to have a similar feel to Extraction, the ending of Extraction. So if you're not a fan of those type of movies, I probably wouldn't watch it because I was not expecting, to have to, make up to finish the story in my head, to make a whole bunch of theories of, what could have happened if someone had survived. So it kind of has a similar ending to The Grey, the movie with Liam Neeson in it. So the movie may not feel as complete as you would want it to be. I know the directors and the producers of this movie wanted to make you choose, what happens at the end of the movie when it, cuts off short, because this movie does cut off like short, and you won't know, what happened. You won't know fully if that person survived, or it's got a similar, ending to The Grey. So if you're not a fan of those endings, I wouldn't watch this movie. But this movie is worth watching. It's full-blown action, John Wick style. If you like action movies, this movie is for you. Okay, guys, but if I'm going to rate this movie, I'm probably going to give it 4 stars. It's exciting, it's tense, it's fun. It's very emotional with Chris Hemsworth's character, Tyler, and Ovi. That's the boy's name in this movie, Ovi. And they're basically out, to save him. But Ovi's character and Chris Hemsworth's character, it's very emotional. They have this, bond. They both have similar, they have a similar, feeling Chris Hemsworth had a depressing past, and Ovi is going through something right now kind of similar to what he's going through, Chris Hemsworth's character Tyler. And yeah, it's fun, exciting, brilliant. It's all of it because the action is just amazing, and that's why I'm giving it 4 stars. Okay, guys, well, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to like, comment, and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys, and stay safe.